Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suited for all audiences. As of now, viewer discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome back. As always, this is your friend and loyal companion, Jonathan, the most boring person on the planet, and most likely this dimension. If we find any more life, then I could have some competition on my hands. But anyway, welcome to part 2 of Amnesia, The Dark Descent. Now, last time we discovered that the main character, Daniel, came to this place, doesn't really remember everything that happened. All he knows is that something is following him, and his past self, who took an elixir to forget on purpose, told him to kill Alexander of Brickburg. Now, Alexander being the person who owns this castle, and it's not in the best of shape. So, I do have to apologize because I have played this before, so if I get ahead of myself and give too much away, I apologize, but sometimes I can't help it. So, that being said, this, as I said before, this is the main hub for at least a little bit. Down that way is the wine cellar and laboratory. We're going to need to go there eventually. And up there are the archives, which I'm going to need to go up there to get access to the wine cellar and the laboratory. Down this way, I don't honestly remember what's down this way. So, I think we're going to head there first, because I don't know what to expect down there. I don't remember what to expect. So, adventure! Gonna need that, and that. Assholes. Always nice to have. Alright, let's see what's in here. Oh, that was the door from before. Okay. Okay, that being said, I think we're gonna go upstairs and explore the archive real quick. Well, it's not gonna be quick.
Get away from me!
Let's just check out this first. And I'll probably edit this out before. Nothing's here, so off to the archive, because I don't want to deal with that yet. As you can see, the castle is pretty much in shambles and full of tinderboxes, which, yay, helps me out a lot. Down here, I don't remember what this was. There's not even a sign to see. Oh, hello. Never knew you were here. Anyway, archives! A fragrance at the consulate on Constantinople. You're early. I remember what's supposed to be here. And I'm probably going to be editing out a lot, just because I know how long this room takes.
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
let me just play with something real quick. Because I'm not sure how much of this you can actually see. Because the recorder I'm using kind of tones things down a bit. So hopefully this helps compensate. Catalogs. Start here, so let there be light. Definitely that. Nothing else here, I don't think. Oh, never mind. I hereby offer my full attention and services to Alexander, Baron of Brandenburg. This contract will reign for a total of 3 years when my freedom shall return to me. In addition to Alexander, Baron of Brandenburg, is to recommend my services at the Prussian royal court and within the sanctum of the Order of the Black Eagle. May no man break this seal. Wilhelm, House of Gerich. Okay, so that tells us that not only did Alexander, employ normal servants, but he also had indentured servants. Basically, anybody who signed a contract to work for a certain amount of time to get certain freedoms. Land, passage. Could have been a whole slew of things, but in this case it seems like freedom of some sort for Wilhelm, character.
17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
That's definitely an interesting place to leave off at, but you get the idea. Things still get to me. I'm sorry. Even if I expect them. Definitely that. Anything else to read out of this room? First rule of survival horror: search everything. So, local history blocked off at the moment. I'm going with bread and pudding. Sound good? Yeah, I'd say that sounds good. Hello? Kind of locked in here. That'll help. Houston, we're about to have some fun. So yeah, we're kind of blocked in on this side. Sort of. Kingdom of Prussia, Central Prussia. That's what we're supposed to get. You. Okay.
17th May, 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light. It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light. I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
I've mentioned before how a lot of stuff in this game kinda is similar to Lovecraft's works. That last note in particular sounds a lot like certain passages from Shadow Out of Time, which is one interesting piece of his works. It's actually very, very bizarre in many ways, so it's actually very fitting. If you've never read it, I highly recommend you do. Hell, read a lot of his works. Shadow over Innsmouth, Dunwich Horror, sorry. Geometry is another thing that pops up in his works a lot.
Much of the castle is old and hasn't been tended to for centuries. When the shadow arrives, it won't take long until things start falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about the wars. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
So, anyway, geometry. Yes, that's where I was going. Throughout his works, he mentioned a lot about strange geometry in both mystical situations and alien in origin, such as the lair of Cthulhu in Call of Cthulhu, and the Old Witch House, another one of his works. I can't remember the full title at the moment, but it mentions a lot of strange geometry.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
So that's the same door that was locked on the other side. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of reading here, so bear that in mind. I'm going to try and do this properly. Altisted and Berenberg Castle. Another region rich with lore is Altisted, deep within the East Prussian woods. For centuries there have been stories surrounding the helmet and its neighbor, the Brennenburg Castle. The quiet forest-clad mountains, dressed with scattered lakes, is as picturesque as can be, albeit the area is haunted by the dark. Ask any local and you will hear proof of the widespread superstition. All travelers should indulge themselves in such conversations, since it will certainly serve as exciting entertainment. All of them have their own twists on the tale, but there are some moffats that keep reappearing. The Gatherers. The story reaches all the way back to the time of the 30 Years' War. It is said that soldiers who abandoned their duty got lost in the cold, dark woods and were forever damned to roam the grounds. Their bodies, wrought by their tainted souls, have left them disfigured and empty of essence. Many have cited them over the years and describe them as horrid reverence. They move silently through the woods, shying away from any beholder. They are called gatherers as they seem to follow some ambition of stealing living creatures. It is their prey which can be heard struggling inside damp burlap sacks dragged behind them, which reveal their presence. What dark scheme do they follow? A Visit Undone. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, the well-known Euripides, visited Altisted at the start of the 16th century. Excuse me. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight as he looked for remnants of kingdoms past. During his stay, all the prominent members of society paid notice, and he is mentioned in many records at the time. One day he went to investigate a burrow in the northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. Heidenreich is known to have passed away in Grenoble some 10 years later. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Altisted, which makes you wonder what really happened. Who is this mysterious man who visited the sleepy helmet in the woods, and what happened to him? Last one. The Immortal Baron. The Baron of Brennenburg lives a reclusive life with his family at his castle near... Excuse me. Haven't been to bed yet, and I work third shift, so this is going to be a little tough. Altisted, and like most of those noble birth, rumors are inherited alongside with the title. Researching the history reveals little before the castle was consumed by fire in the late 16th century. It was rebuilt by Alexander, a nobleman from the Rhinelands, claiming the role as protector of the Prussian state. I can't focus. Alexander helped the region to flourish and remain popular throughout his presumed lifetime. The family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage. Therefore, the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring have never been fully recorded. This has fed the idea that the Baron is, in fact, one and the same who came from the West over 300 years ago, lived through the time of occupation, and joined the coveted order of the Black Eagle, along with the great leaders of this country. I'm sorry. I'm not good at reading aloud. You can berate me in the comments all you want. Just know, I'm still gonna tell you to go fuck yourself. So anyway, there are switches here. The usual concealed books. But you have to get all 3 books pulled out in a certain amount of time. So let's try to get this quick. That's you. And I believe you're the last one. Just going to do that real quick. I'm not going to grab that yet. Yeah, really quick. Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of human vessels. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. It is a matter of time until they follow the trail to Brandenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off until the matter has been handled. Either the king's men leave or they will starve. Excuse me. Whatever comes first, they can rot for all I care. Maybe I will feed them some wine. It would, in a sense, solve both my problems. Alright. I can respect the secretive type. Susie, where are you? Visits. How I love them. Okay, so we're kind of forced to go around. I seriously don't know which room he's in. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Sand gave Hamill's back. He felt the wind gently sweep across his face, and his pride. So, archives. Kinda blocked off now. We got the key we needed. So, if I remember correctly, it's to the wine cellar next. But I think we're going to get to that in the next episode. So, please. Excuse me. So, please. Keep an eye out for whenever that might be. I greatly appreciate anybody who has taken the time out of their busy day to hear me ramble and rant and be bad at playing a game. So until the next time, y'all have a nice day and take it easy.